before we get into that, I should mention how prison came into the whole subject matter. So, my parents had 3 houses, and they were in disrepair. They needed total renovation, and we didn't have the money to do it. And we went to the bank to try to get a loan to do this. And the bank refused and said, well, we don't have the money. Now, we had an account with Chemical Bank, or one of the banks, and they mistakenly put $75,000 into our account. And we looked at it, and we couldn't believe our eyes. And my uncle, myself, I think the treasurer was my uncle, I was the secretary. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take it as a loan, and we'll hold you to it. We'll charge you an interest fee on it to pay back, and that'll be that. Well, my cousin comes in and says, and he's studying international law at Columbia University. And he goes to the bank on his own and says, hey, I don't feel we should have to pay you back. That was a mistake. And he tried to give reasons for that in his so-called legal terms. And the bank says, okay, well, we're going to sue. So my uncle, who's the treasurer, myself, go down to court. And our lawyer accompanies us. And we go before the judge, and he explains our case. Well, the judge decides somebody's got to go to jail. So he looks at my uncle, and he sees this elderly guy of over 60 and says, no, you're too old. And he looks at me and says, young fella, you're going to jail. So my lawyer looks at it, says, Your Honor, can I have a brief moment with you? I forget what they call it when they speak one-on-one. So my lawyer argued for me, saying, hey, this is a young fella. He's got a job, and I don't want him to lose it. So there's a program in which you go into jail Friday night. You spend Saturday, Sunday. They let you out Sunday evening. You go, it's called a work release program. Okay? So they put me under a work release program for 3 months. Well, during that time, I gained a lot of information from a lot of the people that were already jailed there. And we got to talking, and I got the opportunity to speak with them and tell them about the spiritual path I was on. And a lot of things happened from that. Okay. So one of the things that happened, I got a chance to, accidentally I left one of Guru's books on there, and in the early days, Guru used to have his transcendental picture in the end, on the end page, the last page. So, this book, this particular inmate found on the windowsill, and he started reading it, and he started concentrating on the transcendental. Turns out that they were going to kill him. There was a gang in the prison in which he violated one of their laws, and they were going to take him out.
One of the codes.
Yes, okay. And he said he started meditating on the transcendental, and not only did Guru save his life, but they released him. Okay? So we're conversing over this, and he happens to be at Jamaica High School. He comes over and he sees Guru over in the corner working out. Says, "Is that Guru? Sri Chinmoy?" I said, "Yes." And he runs over to him and he says, "Thank you. You saved my life." Now, there was another fellow, in addition to him, who was on death row and managed to get one of Guru's books with the same transcendental in the back. He started concentrating on the transcendental, and they released him from death row. How can you? Huh? Jeez, sorry about that. Gotta put this back on again.
That is really something. How did the second guy got hands on the book? Were you at the time sending books to?
I was sending books to. See, when I went up, and after this guy had run up to Guru, Guru called me over and said, "Get my books into the prisons."
So that's how the program starts.
That's how the program started.
Was it only Sing Sing, or you started doing other prisons too?
Oh, I started doing as many prisons as I could get to.
In New York?
Not only in New York, but elsewhere, throughout the country. And in those days, people grabbed the book with great enthusiasm. Now, fast forward 45 years or 35 years later, okay, I try to do the same thing. And the prisons don't want it.
Wow.
They weren't interested in making prisoners saints and spiritual people.
Before it was more of a correctional facility.
It was a correctional facility in the sense that in those days they wanted people to transform their lives.
Yeah.